Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany. In this video, I get to share with you how to make my Starry Night Crochet Shawl. So when it comes to this particular project, making the shawl, I'm gonna say the level of this crochet project, it's beginner friendly, more so to the advanced beginner level, just based on how we are making the bead stitch. I would say an absolute beginner, this is going to be a bit challenging for you. Really focus on those stitches, the basic stitches and the stitch placement. However, the advanced beginner slash easing into that easy crochet level category, this is your happy place. That's where you're going to have the most fun with this project. The terminology I'm using for this project, all US terminology. So whenever I'm referring to the name of a stitch, I'm using US terms. The dimensions of this shawl really range and vary on your preference. I'm going to get you started. I'm going to share with you exactly my dimensions for the shawl, and I'm going to put the dimensions and all the numbers in the description section, comment section below this video, as well as in the pattern if you'd like to grab that. You can find the pattern for the Starry Night Crochet Shawl on my website, crochetwithtiffany.com, under patterns. When you are ready to begin, let's go ahead and dive into what materials that I used to make the Starry Night Crochet Shawl. All right, I'm super excited about the materials for this project because I am using a hand-dyed specialty yarn that I just fell in love with and I'm having so much fun playing with. This yarn right here is from Silly Goose Yarns. The name of the yarn itself is called That 70s Yarn, and the colors together are just gorgeous. They are what spoke to me with the whole Starry Night name of this shawl, making me think of the Van Gogh painting Starry Night. This yarn is 100% merino wool, so you can choose to go to her website, sillygooseyarns.com, and find this exact yarn that I'm playing with, or feel free to look at her other options, which are just gorgeous. She is definitely an artist when it comes to hand dyeing her yarn. If you would like to substitute for something completely different, I did do a wraps per inch with this yarn, and where I took the yarn and I wrapped it around a ruler and found out how many wraps per a 1-inch increment I could get with the yarn strands right next to each other, and there were a total of 14. So this yarn is 14 wraps per inch, which throws it right into the size 3 weight yarn, DK size yarn category. So if you want to substitute this yarn out for something completely different, have fun, feel free to do so. All right, for this shawl, I ended up using a grand total of 852 yards of yarn. So that was just shy of 4 hanks of yarn here. So the crochet hook that I am using is an I9 or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I really like the drapiness of the stitches. You'll want a pair of scissors, a yarn needle or tapestry needle to weave in all those ends. A tape measure is optional to make sure that you're staying on track and stop making your shawl when you are happy with the dimension. And the stitch marker, I'm going to say the stitch marker is pretty required here. It is technically optional. What its purpose will be for the shawl is helping us to identify which side of the shawl we are making our increases on. Because if you accidentally make your increase stitches on the wrong side, it's going to affect the shape of the shawl and really mess with things. All right, I'm going to have links to everything you see here in the description section and comment section below this video, just to make things easy peasy. Click on the link if you want something here. It'll take you straight to that item where you can purchase it, ship it directly to you, and be good to go. Otherwise, if you have everything that you are ready to use to make your shawl, let's dive right into actually making our Starry Night Crochet Shawl. So with the Starry Night shawl, we are actually working an asymmetrical shawl. What that means is we are starting in one of the corner points and working it from the side. So one side will stay flat and the other side will increase. Just wanted to give you an idea, point of reference on where we are going to begin with this shawl. So starting with our yarn and our crochet hook, we are going to begin by chaining 2. 1, 2. Great. Now, in order to make this pattern work, we're going to make 4 single crochet stitches in the first chain. So inserting our crochet hook, single crochet 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. So that's row 1, 4 single crochet stitches. Okay, next row, row 2 is the bead stitch row. We're going to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn our work. Fabulous. That chain 3 counts as our first stitch, and we'll take the first stitch space. We will make a double crochet stitch in the next stitch space. Double crochet. Great. Next is the slanted cluster stitch. So we're going to make a total of 6 loops around this double crochet stitch we just made. We want a total of 7 loops on our crochet hook. So we already have 1 right here. Then yarning over for 2, taking our crochet hook, going between our double crochet and that chain, so in that space right there around it, yarn over, pull around. Now we have 3, yarn over, there's 4 loops, crochet hook goes between the double crochet and the chain 3, yarn over, pull through. Now we have 5 loops on our crochet hook, 6, and 7. Perfect. When you have 7 loops on your crochet hook, we will yarn over and pull that yarn through all 7 loops. This might take a little wiggling. It's okay. Perfect. And then skip the next stitch space and double crochet in that 4th and last stitch space. So yarn over, insert into that 4th stitch space, double crochet. And that is row 2. Great. Row 3, we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to grab our stitch marker. Place that right there. Make an increase single crochet stitch in that first stitch space. So single crochet 1, same stitch space, single crochet 2, grab that stitch marker and place it inside the first single crochet stitch that we made. We are now identifying this side as our increase side of the shawl. Single crochet on top of the cluster stitch. Great. Single crochet on top of the double crochet stitch. Now that stitch is going to be the one that's a little tricky to find because it's covered by all those loops, but make sure that we put a single crochet on top of it. And then single crochet in the 3rd chain of the chain 3 that we made. Perfect. You should have a total of 5 single crochet stitches by the end of row 3. Let's move on to row 4. Chain 1, turn our work. All right, so this is the side we are on right now is not the side with the stitch marker. So we are only placing 1 single crochet stitch in that stitch space and making 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch space all the way across to the end. Last stitch space, we will make an increase single crochet stitch. I'm going to go ahead and move my stitch marker. There's 1, 2, placing my stitch marker back in that last single crochet stitch just made, staying on that same side because this is my increase side. Okay, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches at the end of row 4. Row 5 is a bead stitch row. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn our work. That chain 3 counts as our first stitch space. So we will work our first double crochet stitch in the 2nd stitch space, double crochet, and then bead stitch or slanted cluster. So have 1 loop on our crochet hook already, then 2, 3. Try to work loose loops on your crochet hook. It'll make it a lot easier for you to yarn over and pull that yarn through all of the loops at the end. 4, 5, 6, 7, yarn over, pull through. There we go. Skip the next stitch space, double crochet in the following, slanted cluster, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yarn over, pull through, skipping the next stitch space, double crochet in the last stitch space. Awesome. So we are not increasing on the bead stitch or slanted cluster stitch rows. We are only doing our increases on the single crochet rows. This is going to make things a lot smoother and easier to follow along as the progression of the shawl continues on. Okay, so no increases on the bead stitch row, only increasing on the single crochet stitch row. Okay, so we now have 2 bead stitches and we're ready to move on. The repeat pattern for this shawl is going to be bead stitch, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. Then bead stitch, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. That is it. So making sure we identify which side we are increasing on so we can not increase on the other side and keep this side flat. Okay, so let's move on just a couple more rows. Single crochet, chain 1, turn our work, single crochet in each stitch space across, 1, 2, 3, 4, remember those double crochet stitches, 5, in that third chain, make 2 single crochet stitches, 6, 7, great. You can choose if you want to keep moving your stitch marker up or just keep it on the side that you know it's going to be the increase side. You do not have to keep moving your stitch marker. Chain 1, turn our work. Because this is the increase side, we're going to start with an increase single crochet stitch or making 2 single crochet stitches in that first stitch space, and then making 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch all the way across. Perfect, there we go. We just made 2 single crochet rows. Next will be a bead stitch row. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3, turning our work. Chain 3 counts as our first stitch, double crochet in the second stitch space. Bead stitch, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skipping the next stitch space, double crochet in the following stitch space, bead stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, double crochet, bead stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and skip the next stitch space, double crochet in that last stitch space. What I wanted to show you here is every time you come upon that bead stitch row or the slanted cluster row, you are adding 1 bead or 1 slanted cluster. So here I had 1, then 2, 3. So in the next grouping or the next section, the bead stitch row, I will have 4. And that's another way to count, to stay on track, to make sure you are staying on track, is a quick gauge. Just quickly glance at your bead stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, moving forward. Remember, each bead stitch row, the only way that it'll work is if you have an even number of stitch spaces in that row. Otherwise, it's going to be off and look funny. So that will also help you to know, did I increase in all of my single crochet rows? Because if you don't, then your count will be an odd number. It won't be even. So something to help guide you. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue on repeating this pattern. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, bead stitch row, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, bead stitch row. Remember to only increase on the side we have marked, and just continue on. I'm going to meet you at the very last row, which for me will be row 135, because I just wanted to keep going until I used up all my yarn. That's what I did. And so I'm going to go to row 135 and then I'm going to stop. I'm going to meet up with you. We're going to tie off this project together and fin. That's it. You've got this. I hope you're having a lot of fun and I hope you just love how this is working out. All right, just finishing up last row. Beautiful. Okay, I do want to mention, depending on your shawl, how much yarn you have left over in your skein or your ball, or if you want to add even more yarn to your project to make your shawl even bigger than what I have here, feel free to keep going. Just keep repeating the pattern. You do not have to stop where I stopped. You can continue on. But when you have reached the last row, I recommend the last row you stop at being the second single crochet increase row. So having a bead stitch and then single crochet, after that second single crochet row, then stop. That way it looks really clean and it's a nice stopping point. Okay, when you're all done, cut enough yarn for you to weave your end in, tie off your work. There we go. Weave in your ends. So grabbing our crochet or our yarn needle here. And how I weave in my ends is I will come through and I will go underneath some stitches. I will go literally through some yarn strands so those fibers really cling to each other. And then over, through, under, and I'll just kind of keep following it one way. And the method that seems to work best for me is if I then double back. So right here where I last came underneath, I'm going to go over that stitch so I don't undo everything that I just did. And then I will go backwards. Just kind of maneuvering my needle through those yarn strands. Come to the end. Make sure that you pull it out so it's not all bunched and scrunched there. Cut the tail. And that's it. The only other tail that I will have to address is this first one here from the very, very beginning. But just do exactly what we just did in the last tail and your shawl is complete. I hope you love it. Oh, I love it. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I have more shawl videos I think you'll have a lot of fun playing with. Check out this video right here, and let's keep crocheting together and having some fun. I love crocheting with you. I have so much fun. I hope you do too. Thank you so much for crocheting with me today. I hope you have the best day, and I will see you with my next video. Bye, guys.